gave Tux his breakfast first, showed it to him and everything, but he doesn't want to miss out. You come on, Tux, let's go. Let's go back to your spot. Come on. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Come back up. Come on. Come on. There you go. I didn't walk. He was right here. And I showed him I put his food down. And I rubbed his butt. And I walked away. And he followed me instead of eating his food. Now, where you been eating for the last 3 or 4 weeks? Right here. Huh. There's Ruby. We did get about 1/4 of an inch of rain. Started raining at 9 p.m., which was good because I was in from Taekwondo. Some of my cat food for me.
Wish I was fixing some cats, but yeah, I'm fixing your cat food.
That wasn't funny, and they're all fixed except for Dusty.
Oh, that's right. That's my girl. She's good at getting cats fixed.
Dusty's doing good. He's all fed and cleaned up and give him some more attention when I get home. Good morning, buddy. Last but not least, and safe from those other guys. That's right. I'm glad the rain has stopped for the drive-in this morning. Well, actually, it does appear to be misting just a tad, but at least it's warm. It's 54 degrees. Good morning, Ruby. Well, we have still total cloud cover. We're as warm as we're gonna get today at 54. That's today's high, and tonight we're down to 34. So a little cooler here overnight, but totally reasonable still for January. Well, Johnny said, and I agree with the adjective, that it was chaos back there at the 70-401 split, and yeah. All's well though, but still, I'm never gonna like that part of the drive-in in the morning. Goodness, it is dark behind us. It's not that bright in front of us. There was a Model Y I hadn't seen before in traffic with us this morning. Woman driver headed into downtown. She went straight where I took the right branch though. Yeah, it's just really dark to the south, and my phone said it's raining moderately in Fuquay, so. I got Johnny dropped off. He's a little late. All these extra chores in the morning. We're just not getting out of the house on time very good. So how about those Tesla price cuts yesterday, huh? I was really pleased to see that Kyle's mom, out-of-spec mom, went out and ordered another white-on-white Model Y. She had really enjoyed the one that she had before, so that's cool. You knew Tesla was going to do this, right? This is not a surprise that they were going to adjust the prices so that the car is qualified for the $7,500. So, because we knew that the profit margin, the cost to make the cars was good, and they could afford to play with it, reduce it, play the game to get the $7,500. So no surprise here, and thank goodness. I had signed a petition yesterday, day before, saying, you know, please add the 5-seater Model Y. It's ridiculous. Only the 7-seater is being counted. And, you know, so I guess that was sort of a moot point now, and I should have been just waited. But anyway, the government doesn't hurt to let them know how you feel about stuff. I was not pleased that the 5-seater wasn't being included. So, anyway, I'm liking the price cut. I'm sure it will spur some orders. I'm sure it will help first quarter look good. I think it's all a positive. I don't think it has anything to do with demand. I think it had to do strictly with playing the game on getting the $7,500 for purchasers and leveling the playing field. So, and with the debacle of Electrify America over the holidays and stuff, and Tesla being able to get the tax credit now, I think I'm happy with the position that puts us in. You know, I'm really worried about how people's first impression of driving an EV is, and you know, I'm not pleased about the charging issues for non-Tesla cars over the holidays from that perspective, because we don't want people fed up. I'm not going to drive an EV because of charging issues. So anyway, we'll see where it goes from here, but hopefully a little uptick in the stock price today. That would be good, because anybody that wanted to buy more, they had ample time to go buy more. I'm home. I opened up the door and I have a Marty. Hey buddy, you need some attention? Well, there's a Stripey too. Hi guys. I'll give him a quick pat now, and then when we come back from our walk, I'll sit with him. You want the good news or the bad news?
What's that, sweetheart?
The good news is the temperature is not falling throughout the day.
That's good.
It's not going to fall until sunset. The bad news, the wind picked up after the front went through.
That's right.
They bring in that cooler air tonight. Some of us don't have our hat.
Right off.
Yeah, we got out of the car and it's like, dang, it feels colder out here, and it's because of the wind. Well, it's definitely more brisk out here than I imagined. At 54 degrees, it feels more like 45 degrees. That's good for you, right? Good for what ails you out here, a little fresh, brisk air morning walk. It'll be better here in a minute when we get up to the sun. There is no one on the track with us. There are 2 cars in the parking lot, but I don't see any people. And I swear we've had some 25-mile-an-hour gusts. Whew! I'm sorry.
It's all her fault.
Yesterday, I'm like, you haven't run home to the house in a while. Well, this was because he was talking about weight and diet and fasting and all this stuff, and I'm like, I guess it would classify as quit your belly aching and start running home again. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't really quite that harsh, but anyway.
I'm going to do a hit up this hill. When I get to that sign that says Fuquay-Varennes planning limit, I sprint from there
up
as far as I go until I can't go any harder.
Okay, well, I expect you to be going slow in the neighborhood then when I come around the corner, because that's post-hit, and you're just walking to the house then. Yep. It's more about the hit than the distance home.
That's right.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
You're being a good boy today. Be careful if the grass is slick.
Yes, ma'am.
Says Mom Marianne.
That's right. Here we go.
Bye. It's a hill. I mean, I've walked it with him when we pick up trash, and this hill ain't no joke here, and that hill's as bad or worse. I meant to show you guys a clip at St. Monica's this morning. Coming through the turnpike area today, the construction, there was a gentleman walking on the side of the road next to the right lane that Ruby was in very dark clothing. And I didn't see him, and Ruby saw him. And she moved me over in my lane, but moved me over about a foot. Now, it scared me a little bit because I didn't know why she was moving out of her straightness, and I knew there was a car on my left kind of just behind me. So I did end up grabbing the wheel and getting out of autopilot. But she did exactly the right thing. She did what she could. I mean, I wasn't going to hit him. He was off the road, but giving him those extra 12 inches was the right answer, and I would have done it if I'd have seen it. The only person that did anything wrong was the guy over there walking in black pants and a black shirt. I might not have been black and black, but you know what I'm saying. It sure wasn't white, and it sure didn't have reflectors. Yeah, don't bother to stop while you're talking on your cell phone. No problem. He was going slow enough to stop. That is a fully marked pedestrian crosswalk, so convenience has nothing to do with whether or not you should stop at it. People. You might remember that I set up my phone as a key again about a week ago after having to restore my phone. When I got in today, it was on Don's profile. I have to say that the way he has the seat leaned back, it totally hurts. So easy entry, and his, you know, it's, thanks guy, try to stay on your side of the road. Anyway, it was set up as Dawn for some reason. I don't know why I switched it to Marianne. Also, my key fob was set up as Dawn's. So anyway, while I was in there, I reviewed them all, and I need to remove a couple that are like Dawn's old phone and my phone before the reboot, the restore. But I had to get out the key card to do that, and at that point I was like, I'm fixed good enough for now. There's other things in the list. I'd like to clean it up, but I don't care. If I'm in the car and I'm able to put in the pin and drive, you ought to let me manipulate the keys, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's because of valet mode. That would open up a small hole. All right, I take it I need a real key card. But I have the fob. Well, I don't have the fob, but I have my phone is a key. If my phone is a key and it's my key, should I not be allowed to manipulate the key list? Don's up here on the parking pad. I guess with that running and also the sprint that he did on top of me fooling with the driver profile key stuff, he got home before I got here. Oh, he's getting out my seat so I can sit with my kitties. I got yesterday's video finished, and now I have about an hour before I have to leave to get Johnny, and it's time to work on the newspaper building. So far so good with the gearing. It takes a little bit to get the gears in the corner to line up, because the gear can fall a couple millimeters too far past the hole for the axle to come in. But I got it. Here, I'm going to move a little closer and you can see it. And you can see them moving in there. And they're all, this square is moving this square, is moving this square. It's all interconnected. It's 1:30. It's time to go grab Johnny. I'm stopping for now. I'm going to plug my computer back in so it'll be all charged up if I want to come out here and work on it some more. It's all going good. Well, except for this one brick's upside down, but I'm going to fix that. I'm enjoying the build. I'm having what I need right now. In Ruby on my way to get Johnny, and darn it, I forgot the monk fruit in my coffee. At least it has cream in it, but it's not what I was expecting, and I was already in a little bit of a mood, so now I'm not happy. Right as I was walking out the door, already a couple minutes later than I wanted to be, the doctor's office that's supposed to finish removing the mole between my toes on my left foot called. And I've been pretty frustrated this week because the lady that does the referral, she only will call you, and only when she wants to call you, and you really aren't supposed to call her or try to get back in touch with her. That doesn't work very good for me. I realize waiting in line for a phone call, but once you've called me, leave a number, I can get back to you if I miss you, because it doesn't need to take 48 hours for me to get back in touch with you again. So I gave up yesterday after waiting, and I called the main appointments number and said, look, I'm just tired of waiting. I had waited 72 hours at that point after she had left a message for me, and she had not tried me back. And then when I called, they were to tell me that they didn't have everything they needed to do the referral, and they needed to call back the doctor that made the referral and ask some more questions. Well, what were you doing in the 3 days? Yeah, you got to advocate for yourself or they forget about you. I was polite on the phone. I'm just expressing my frustration with you guys. But anyway, so apparently they got the info they needed. This was yesterday afternoon that they said that they needed it, and they called me back, and the first available is Wednesday, March the 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon. Well, I wanted Dawn to go, and that's right when I was supposed to pick up Johnny, and I really don't want to be iced on it for, what is it, like 6 more weeks until they can get me in. So I was not happy, and not happy. But I scheduled the appointment, asked them to put me on the waiting list, and no, Ruby, you can't change lanes to follow route, sweetheart, because we're already in the lane and we're stopped, and that's just like ridiculous. So just stop. Just don't try to change lanes right now. She put the turn signal back on. Okay, I'll just get myself through the intersection and then we'll get back in autopilot. I don't know what she was trying to do. Maybe she was going to take me through the parking lot to get me around this backup here. This is Friday backup, and it's because I'm late that it's backed up this far, and it's Friday. This is why I don't tell Johnny what time I'm going to get there until I'm on the other side of Fuquay. So anyway, I would prefer to get the procedure done like next week would be good, and I would prefer that Dawn would be able to go with me. And yeah, she told me the doctor's not in the office on Fridays, and is totally reasonable if these guys are working 12-hour days that they're taking Fridays off. But if they're only working 6 or 8-hour days and then they're still taking Friday off, then I'm frustrated. And I don't know which the case is here, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But Friday is the day that would be best for me, because if my foot's gonna hurt, it would be better it hurt over a weekend. And if it's the day that Johnny's in school the longest, it's the day Dawn could most come with me, you know, etc., etc., etc. But that's not possible because these doctors, they don't work on Fridays. Okay, I've ranted enough. I think you understand why I'm upset though. So we didn't end up having any severe weather at our house last night. Often the case with these storms that carry a punch in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, even Tennessee on their way here, once they come over the mountains, they can lose a lot of their punch, which is good for us, but not good for the people on the other side of the mountains. And I was telling Don, I messaged him that 5 people died near Montgomery, Alabama last night due to tornadoes. How sad. Hey.
Hey.
How are you? You stretching your legs?
Yeah.
You're looking sleepy.
Yeah, well, you know, it is that kind of day.
I'm back at my Lego project. Johnny and I have made coffees. This time I've got monk fruit in mine. That one going downtown wasn't so good. And Johnny had an opportunity to go to an escape room tonight with a friend. The friend he's traveled vacationed with before, and he's really excited about that. So they'll be picking him up here in a bit. Complaining about this report from Duke, how long?
As long as we've been getting it, sweetie.
Over 5 years
Oh,
now. Yeah. It tells us we have an extremely inefficient home.
See, this is the good people.
Right.
These are the yellow light is the...
I don't think they can see it, but at any point, our graph
blue
is...
line is the bad us. That would be
Right.
us.
Well, they finally asked us 12 to 18 months ago
easily.
if we had an electric car, and we went in and we
said
filled...
we had one. We
they-
had 2.
Right. They asked us to go in and fill out this profile, and we did that. And nothing about that profile. Yeah, they think they know how much water we use for hot heating. We got we've got a more efficient heat pump than most people. The Sear on it. Don was very careful when he selected it. We have a more efficient hot water heater than most people.
Yeah.
And we
LED lights.
Yeah, Don has changed. See, it kind of look, Donnie, it kind of makes me mad because you know more about making the home. You could go around and be one of the people that helps people make their home more efficient, and then anyway, it's because we have an electric car and they refuse to. And you know what? We pay for the electricity just like everybody else, so we'll use it. And we live 10 miles from that nuclear power plant, so we'll enjoy that nice, clean, efficient energy. Even though the guy at Sharon Harris was very careful to tell us that we can't say that our power comes from Sharon Harris because they have to distribute it and re-channel it, but that's okay. I'm claiming it anyway.
This is us. This
yeah,
is
that
the big
is
blue
right.
line.
Just hold it still. Don't move.
The
Yeah,
blue
that blue
line.
line is us, and the yellow is the
Average.
Yeah, and then the green are those good people.
Green
well, you know,
is good.
Prior to really recently, when it became clear, I guess starting in Texas, that we don't necessarily have enough electricity to power all the homes in the country every day of the year at all peak demands.
Oh, right.
We no longer now have, apparently, the ability to properly power all of our homes and businesses 24/7, 365.
That's correct.
But that's only real recent that's come up.
That's right.
Particularly. You know, now I could sort of understand why they would be on people, but my thing back to them would be, figure it out, folks.
Yeah. Build a couple more nuclear power plants.
Exactly. I don't know. I just don't like their report.
Yeah.
Now, they asked us, before we filled out the profile, they didn't know. But
That's
now
right.
they know, and the profile should ask, how many electric cars do you have, and how many miles a month do you drive on average? Yeah. And then once we tell them that, they ought to just leave us the heck alone.
Yeah,
I realize solar would be nice, but look at the trees, folks. Look at the trees.
Right. That's exactly.
I still want Don to add solar. Some amount of solar. I want a solar panel. I want a battery. I'm not going to be happy in my lifetime until that happens, but it's never going to power our house. The whole, I mean, we're not ever going to be able to have our own little mini city that with this number of trees here, because we're not going to
off grid.
Right, we're not going off grid with what we'll be able to produce, but it might be a nice little supplement.
Yeah.
It could keep me warm in case Duke can't keep my house warm on their own.
Or more properly, cool. My girl, she's hot.
Don,
Look what I have. And I had a pretty good lunch today, too. I might have a little trouble finishing in this.
Yeah.
But then you know what that means.
I get to eat it tomorrow afternoon.
If I don't have a nighttime, bedtime snack.
He doesn't ever eat a bedtime snack, but it's a porterhouse steak and broccoli, sausage, onion, garlic, cheese, egg, casserole.
Yum.
Yeah.